What is your understanding of heaven? Where is it located? How are we going to get there? Who lives there? Do we have any understanding as to what heaven is? As humans, we are so preoccupied about securing future. We like to even go after life, like to secure a spot in the heaven. We are praying, pointing out towards the clouds as the heaven located in the cloud nine or something. But nevertheless, human species like to pay extra attention as to where we are going after life. And have a special interest, maybe because um, we are so afraid to think about what happened, the opposite of heaven. No one ever says, I want to experience opposite of heaven, uh, but I want to go to heaven. Uh, but we don't really know how to get there. We pray thinking this is the answer to our problems, securing a spot in the heaven. Um, because of our desire to be comfortable. We don't like discomfort. We want to be perfect, have a perfect environment, a soft landing. We like heaven, so we pray to go to heaven. We think about it, we fantasize about heaven. This is our understanding. But how does the black sheep's, the light workers? I mean, we have a lot of spiritual teachers out there, but it is a business model, so we are really not sure. Because whenever you have a business model, you have to cater to a level of conditioning, and you really don't know it's the accurate information. But it's never something you have to be burdened with, because going to heaven is something happen internally. You have to open your heart. This is where you find the doorway to heaven. This is where you gain the clarity, like in the school of life. Everything is in layers. The clarity happens with the layers. It doesn't happen overnight. We have to navigate life with the school of life experiences. They have different layers, different understanding. The shortened version of my interpretation is heaven is the energetic frequencies, vibrational frequencies, state of being, unconditional love. This is heaven. For me, the heaven is where you're most comfortable. If we're praying to some clouds up in the sky, it's already distance from you. What we have to strive to do is create heaven where you are at. It is very possible. The harmony and the balance, restore balance, and experience joy and comfort within yourself is where heaven is. Heaven is colorful. It's the vibrant colors. We're not stuck with the black and white and gray and brown. We have different colors. This is magical. This is heavenly. The sounds of birds is not the scary crow or something. Is the most beautiful. The melodies from these wildlife and the flowers and the beautiful fruits and the magical landscape. This is a heaven. uh, you can create that from your in your heart, and you can visualize this is where heaven is, instead of uh, being so angry, resentful, and jealous. All the low vibrational parts of you, you carry that, you're living that, you are participating in that, and praying to go to heaven is a fictional, is there is no clarity there. Someone who has clarity, who has uh, secure connection to the higher self, highly connected to Source God, and prioritize experiencing for the Source God, um, wouldn't want to waste time in the school of life thinking about where you're going after you're creating your heaven where you are at, because the human nature is to not like discomfort, but we are participating in discomfort because we are creating, if we're creating discomfort for another, scarcity, discomfort for another, there is no heaven, there's no space for heaven to be present. This is where we run into problems, and we think that learning about wars, participating in wars, like when you're in school, you doesn't matter what system it is, but when you learn about history, the war is something that always have a discussion. Someone like me would question that immediately. What purpose do I have to spend my time learning about war? It doesn't have to be ignorant thing, but have you learned anything from war? If you ever watch a movie, if you ever see a documentary, you immediately have the compassionate part. You're thinking, wow, why on earth anyone had to go through this? What is the purpose? Why, who created this thing? This cannot ever be happening to us, but yet we are perpetuating the same kind of destructive patterns. So then there is no place for heaven there. If you continue to participate on these things, heaven seems so far away up in the clouds where it's unreachable for you. But the highly connected a person uh, knows, have the clarity because of the lessons we're experiencing for the source God, for your higher self. You come to understanding with extreme clarity what heaven looks like, what the opposite of heaven look like. So it is really important for us to get that energetic vibrational frequencies of heaven where you are at. It's not something we don't really know. We don't really know anything about heaven or the opposite of heaven, hell, but we just have to rely on that clarity, because there is somebody else, some guru is not going to tell you about this. And spiritual warfare is a real thing. This is the why that human species constantly seeking for comfort, but while you're uncomfortable. This is why we have to work on ourselves, feel things, heal things, and secure that connection to Source God, your higher self, so that we can experience heaven. For me, heaven has to be where I am at. I have to be comfortable. It's the luxury, and buying items is not heaven, it's a burden, but creating the most harmonious balance, learning to heal yourself little by little. And this is heaven for me. So surround yourself with colors, surround yourself with the harmonious sounds and frequencies. This is how you have a dialogue with others, maybe. Never about constantly talking about all the bad experiences happened to us, but have you learned the lesson? Did you release from that burden? When we uh, completely perpetuating the same stories, similar events, we don't really know how to overcome that. You're repeating to yourself, you're now communicating to others, you are reinforcing that the same level of negativity for you, and you're perpetuating the state of negativity. So you deprive yourself from that heavenly existence. This is how I interpret heaven. Um, your health and well-being. Are we constantly a state of sickness, a state of depression, a state of suffering, pain? Then it's hard for heaven to exist because you're in a state of discomfort. So if you're following your life towards the greed, you have you're constantly thinking about creating financial wealth. Nothing wrong with that, but it's not the end game. It's not the heaven on earth, because you can be very wealthy, but you can be extremely uncomfortable. Pain and suffering happens internally, and whether you have resources or not, what is your state of existence? If you have ill health, if you're disconnected, there are room for a growth of toxicity, the parasitic existence there. You're open to drain your energy, because the spiritual warfare is a real thing. Are you able to identify how we start draining our energies? Do you have a clarity about these circumstances? Um, how do you come out of these destructive patterns? This is how we overcome the hell on earth and work towards heaven. Heaven is now. Heaven is where you're at. Heaven is something you create by understanding and having a clarity from experiences. This is where heaven is. Heaven is colorful. Heaven is soft. Heaven is gentle. Heaven is comfort. Heaven is good health. Heaven is wholesome diet. Heaven is something that is creative. Heaven is never toxic. Heaven is never draining. Heaven is never manipulating. And agendas, there are no agendas. You see what you get, your ability to see things exactly as they are. This is a heaven. This is what we have to create. Heaven is now. Heaven is where you're at. We have to think about creating heaven, where heaven is where you're at. If we're thinking about afterlife, what's happened, where we are going, this is heaven, where I want to go. It is a time well wasted, because heaven is now. You can never have a heaven from a hierarchy that is designed to suck the life out of you. When you learn about the food chain very early on in your school, you learn about the food chain. You have beautiful little rabbits and the deer and the snakes and the frogs and a lion. There is a cycle, a circle of life happens there. You immediately think, well, what happened to the humans? It's as if no one is going to eat humans, but what we are exposed to is the energetic draining of human mind, body, spirit vessel. So we are indefinitely exposed to energetic drain by these external parasitic entities. This is how we know the spiritual warfare is a real thing, and I try to have that secure connection to the source God and protect yourself, mind, body, spirit vessel. This is where heaven is. When you are allowing external factor to exploit you, drain your energies, this is not heaven. This is a existence of discomfort. We need to come to terms with that. This is what awakening is. Awakening is all about having the experience, but have the extreme clarity. This is how you know where you are at. This is know where you're in hell or in heaven. This is how we gain the clarity. It's an important factor. What we can know for sure is the hierarchy that is designed to control and manipulate human beings any kind of business model they have, the business transaction, there is no compassion. There is forget about the compassion and unconditional love. There is not even fairness involved. These such entities cannot be in charge of human mind, body, spirit vessel, because we are connected to the source God. We are knowing of the comfort and discomfort and the love, unconditional love and fairness and empathy. We have a very clear understanding and clarity about these things. So then if somebody, external factors who are hierarchy, so-called hierarchy, if they are not practicing any of these things, they're not worthy of being in charge of your vessel. This is how we gain the clarity and understanding. This is what awakening, great awakening is all about. In order to go to heaven, you have to open your heart. This is how you get through. This is the entry for the heaven. If you continue to pray a few times a day, pointing towards the cloud nine and going to heaven, and maybe perhaps not have a happy feelings about the others, you're creating chaos for others while you're trying to pray to go to heaven. This hypocrisy there, that's not authentic space. This is parasitic contamination is there. So this is the tools that where you have to keep in mind. We all want to go to heaven because we do not like the discomfort. We do not want to feel things, to heal things. So we are hoping that we are going to gain the comfort by going to heaven. So we have to now be awakened enough to know the difference. There is no such a guru that's going to give you that heavenly experience. It is you who have to liberate yourself, open your heart, and create the heaven where you're at. If you're intoxicated, if you're doing recreational things and addiction and all sorts of things, I mean, in order for you to survive, the man has to be so contaminated and ambushed by these substance and all kinds of things, the mind-numbing things, so you don't have to feel things. You're just temporarily escaping whatever the problems you're reluctant to feel, because we are so dangerously manipulated and controlled by these external factors. This is why we have a hard time opening our eyes and to the reality, because we fight, we are hostile, we argue, because we don't want to anticipate that we have been taken for a ride, because we've been manipulated, we've been programmed, we have been put to sleep by these charming mind-numbing systems. And a great awakening is creating heaven on earth where you're at, finding comfort because you feel things, to heal things. When we are completely disconnected and separated from source, God, higher self, there is no space for heaven. It's a extremely uncomfortable spot. So we have to be proactive, start wakening up. We can create the heaven on earth where we're at. It's nothing to do with afterlife. We have to heal our traumas. We have to learn lessons. We have to release from them, and we are going to live heaven on earth. This is what we are working towards, creating heaven where you're at. This is my understanding of heavenly existence.